My name is Goldie. Welcome back to another 15 Minutes of Fame. Different setup this time. Got it all going on with the, and this. So I've got Lee from Rockfan, Lee Putnam from Rockfan. This is a staging, lighting, sound, full compass. You want to throw a party? Boom. They've got all the buttons and knobs. Lee, to my knowledge, owns the business, got it started years ago. He'll speak more about that in a minute. And then down here, new setup. Woohoo, we're tech guys. That's Jeremy down there. And Jeremy is also part of Rockfan. He will describe what his role is in the company, and we will discuss them there further. Obviously, now 4 weeks into this, today's Easter, it's April 12th. That's about 29, nearly 30 days of physical, actual lockdown because of the whole party that we're living in right now. And I can guarantee you, between the three of us, we've thrown better parties than what we're in right now as far as the party goes. So let's take it away. Lee, if you don't mind starting, Lee, talk to us about who you are, what you own, what you do, and where you've been.
Yeah, hey, my name's Lee. I'm part owner. I'm co-owners with Jeremy in Rockfan. Started the company in 2012. We do everything from speaker rentals, concert production. We also do sound system installations and staging with live events. So basically anything audio, video related, that's kind of where we live. We do events that range from 50 people all the way up to 10,000 and beyond. We travel all over the country. That's kind of our background. And I'm going to kick it over to Jeremy, who's my partner in all this.
I'll look down.
Hey, I'm Jeremy, co-own the company with Lee, and Lee pretty much summed up everything we do. We do events for small amounts of people and really large amounts of people, and also system integration for businesses.
Cool. And so with that right there, I can attest that both these guys are pretty much rock stars in their world, hence the name of the business, Rockfan. I've had a chance to work with both you guys on site, around stages. Jeremy, you and I got to battle a ski resort through every single weather adversary
battle.
You could. Yeah, weather battle.
Yeah, battle sums it up.
Battle. Yeah, battle in the world of events. Taking a break like this actually is now well worth it or well earned. Okay, so let's just fast forward through the already known. We know you're not throwing events right now. We know your clients have called you. They said, hey, we're shutting down. We don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. We're a month into this thing right now. We think we're about 2 to 3 weeks out of maybe opening doors on stuff. We're just kind of rolling with it right now. I know that a lot of the humans I've spoke with on the 15 Minutes of Fame have discussed how they stay connected with their clients. So some do it with writing notes. Some do it with phone calls, Zoom meetings. What are you guys doing to stay with your clients right now so that they know that Rockfan isn't just good at setting up a soundboard and tuning in the lead singer and blah, 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 but that they are also human beings that are part of this worldly situation that need to keep a business going? What do you guys do right now?
So a lot of our customers are also in kind of the same boat we are. They're event producers, they're breweries, they're restaurants, and they're kind of going through the same thing. So a lot of it is just genuinely checking in and caring, just saying, hey, how are you holding up? How are things going? We've had a lot of conversations of moving events or rescheduling them, which is going to be interesting because the summer's going to be nutty. But I think it's just genuinely reaching out and asking how someone's doing, seeing how they're hanging in. If there's anything we can do to help them in this time. We're fortunate enough where we've been blessed with enough business to kind of keep us through going through all this.
So
that's kind of what
power,
we've been doing.
Sure. The power of phone call and the
power of caring.
Yep. Jeremy, anything that you're doing in specific to keep clients in the knowledge of who Rockfan is?
Yeah, so there's a lot of events coming up in the later summer that we haven't been told are canceled yet, because things will hopefully start to open up. I'm hoping in June. There's still a lot of uncertainty around that, but there's a lot of stuff we're still planning on doing, and we are working and gathering details as if that event is still happening. So there's a lot of things that haven't changed that might still change. And then there are things that have canceled, and we're trying to figure out whether that's going to be something that is delayed and will happen later in the year, or if it's canceled. So
here's one for both of you. Okay. And this has already happened to me, and I know it's going to happen to you guys. What happens when the schedule gets mixed up and somebody calls you and says, okay, hey, listen, we're taking it from April and we're going to go put it over in August. And then one of your other clients calls up 10 minutes later and goes, hey, we're taking the one from May and we're putting it in August. And then boom, it's on the same weekend. Yeah. Who wins pecking order? How are you juggling these known double bookings coming your way right now?
Well, we get double and triple booked all the time, so it's not really something new. So we're just ready for the deluge of events. They're gonna come, and they're all gonna probably come in August, because that exact conversation has happened a couple times with some of our big ones, and they're like, well, we'll just do it in August, and there's not really a solid date set yet. And August in Colorado, for the stuff that we've done years prior, that's already a busy month, so it's fun to figure that out. I think Lee will agree with me.
Yeah, we also are lucky enough too. We work with other vendors who are in similar companies like ourselves. And there's a lot of we support each other when we have each other's backs, kind of that thing. So I know that one of the companies we do a lot of work with, their slow season is in August. So I'm sure that we'll be making their slow season not be in August this year.
Well, and I've had discussions with people who produce the NFL draft, the Super Bowl, the Olympics, and you know, they're moving stages for the world, right? All the way down to guys like yourselves who are more focused in like a Colorado and regional area in the immediate. I mean, if somebody calls you and says, hey, you want to stage something in New York, I'm sure you'll do it if it all works out. But the point is that you're based here in Colorado. And it's interesting because this time in life is affecting everyone. I've used this example before. I take us back to 9/11. 9/11 is the reason why we have the Super Bowl in February now. It used to be a January event. That was the event that moved the Super Bowl. It'll be interesting to see, like now the Masters, the golf tournament, is being moved into, I believe it was November. And it's like, will there be new discoveries in events where it's like, you know, we've been throwing this thing in April and all of a sudden we threw it in August and we're like, this is pretty rad. Do you see down the future right now where a concert might just actually go, I think we're just going to keep it in August?
Yeah, it's hard to say. There's going to be so many things happening in August. It's going to be a fight. Locally for us, like what wins, because there's already so many successful ones that happen that time of year. Other things may stick, and then that will open up opportunities for other events to happen during the early summer, springtime time of year here, where the weather is a little, you know, that's the tough part with holding events this time of year in Colorado, because you don't really know what the weather is going to do. Like we had kind of a false spring yesterday, 70 degrees, and then today woke up to snow. And
isn't it great?
That's the kind of
and we had an event do the opposite, where it was originally in August. They moved it to May for a couple of years, and now because of this, they moved it back to August.
Oh, geez, just talking about juggling. It's going to be interesting how like those play out, like pecking orders, how things will get delegated. I mean, this is, I guess, if anything, this virus life in our world right now is testing the true ability of adjustment of the human beings in the adjustment business, which is called events. Because what event do you put on paper and then you show up and they're like, it's going to go exactly like that? Yeah, right.
Every once in a while, you get some of those coordinators that are buttoned up. It's nice when that does happen. But
well, organization.
Proper planning.
Right. Yeah. Organization is always a high level. Speaking of which, as a matter of fact, I actually inquire with you guys because I know that you guys are extremely well organized company. To my understanding, Lee, you have built your own inventory system and like computer program that ultimately runs the infrastructure of your business. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we built our own system, and the nice thing about it is it makes us super flexible. So if it's not working quite the way we want it to work, we can adjust it and say, well, this is how we operate. And it makes it really smooth. So when a customer first calls us, their experience that they get all the way through to the end of the event is almost cookie cutter. So we can just streamline everything, and it makes it a lot easier. So we don't drop the ball, or we don't forget things or anything like that. It just kind of keeps us in check. And I want to have Jeremy talk about this too, but one of the things that Jeremy and I talk about a lot is that we're not necessarily in the business of setting up and running events. We're in the hospitality business. And so it doesn't matter how we approach it. Every step of the way, we think, this is like someone coming and staying in our home, or how would we treat this person from the second they walk through the door? Every little bit of it, we're in that side of the business, making people's lives easier, making events run better. It all stems down from the hospitality of our staff and us as owners as well. So I'm gonna let Jeremy jump on that too.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's about keeping the experience good the whole way through. So when they come to us asking for help, it's okay. What can we really offer them? What can we do for them to make this event successful? And not only the customers, but we work with artists all the time on stage too. And it's about making them feel comfortable. So, because they're already nervous because they're going to perform, and running sound can be complicated with
they need everything their way.
Yeah, you got to put their minds at ease. Make it easy for them.
Mm-hmm. And you just met that person 18 seconds ago. You don't know the bass that they're playing. You've never seen a drum setup like what they've had. They got a keyboard.
Try to build trust quickly.
Yeah, it's for those that don't run stages. That's the world right there. It's. I mean, to know your buttons and knobs, that's like cool. That's like, all right, cool. I know how to run a mixer and things like that. But it's more about like, it's watching the faces of them when they're playing, and you can see that their face is like twinging because maybe the monitor's too loud, and they haven't set it on the microphone or something like that. And you're kind of like in tune with them. It's really quite the art. And I think that's the 6th degree of separation, who makes a really great sound and light company, who go out and, do this for bands, because that's the difference of when a band says, because that's kind of where your reputation goes. It goes off that stage and wherever that band's going next, because they're going to be like, oh, Denver was crap. This Jerry behind the board, all he had was a cigarette in his hand, and he cut his ponytail off. He's not a real sound guy. Speaking of which, it looks like you cut your ponytail off, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm taking a page out of the Goldie book, getting the flow on.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, you gotta have.
I think
no flow.
Yeah, I think you said something very true there that we take really seriously, is the attitude and how our guys perform under pressure is really important to us. It's like, it's okay to make a mistake as long as you own it and you do your best to fix it. And that's kind of what we preach to the guys every time they walk out the door. It's like, leave your ego here, go out there and just support anything they need. If a customer, I want them to feel like they can walk up to us and ask us for anything outside of our scope of work and be comfortable doing so, where they don't feel like, man, I don't really want to bug those guys. No, the door's always open. And that's what we try to do to differentiate ourselves.
In this 15 minutes, we found out that Jeremy and Lee are human beings that run a business. Coincidentally, they know how to run buttons and knobs that'll make you sound great on a huge stage or a tiny stage. So if you're looking for staging, lighting, customer service that bases a good experience with all the things considered to throw a party for your corporate, for your breweries, backyard parties, Rockfan's the hit. What's your information, you guys? Lee, take it away.
Our website is great. It's rockfan.rocks. That's it.
Is that ROX or ROC? What kind of rocks are we working with?
ROCKS.
ROCKS.
So rockfan.rocks.
Awesome.
Rockfan.rocks. That's the website. Our emails are info@rockfan.email.
Perfect.
But if you Google us too, if you search for Rockfan in Colorado, we pop right up and all this information is up to date.
Lee, Jeremy, awesome 15 minutes of fame with you guys. And if you want to sound and light company that rocks, call Rockfan. They are your people. Out.